So, you guys might know Treasure Island, a mysterious creepypasta story set in Disneyland. Well, 10 years ago, one of the most popular FNAF fan games was made. Five Nights at Treasure Island. And you know, some YouTubers played it and it got fairly popular. Well, about 2 or 3 years ago, a FNAF fan game made by Team Radiance was made called Five Nights at Treasure Island. And this is supposed to be the definitive Treasure Island game. Even the original creator joined up with Team Radiance to make this game. And 10 years after the release of the first Treasure Island game, we now have Oblitus Casa. Radiance is a team of developers that made Oblitus Casa, which have made other great games like Five Nights at Treasure Island 2021. Oblitus Casa is supposed to be an official sequel to that game, or as much as a sequel can get. But is the game good, and does it live up to the first game? Well, yes and no, it's a bit complicated. So let's just go in the game and find out for ourselves.
Today is December 1st, 2004. This is Dr. Jared Rowley speaking, and my patient's name is Jake Smith. Now Jake, before we get started, I'm going to briefly explain the circumstances behind your admittance here on tape, for the sake of documentation. Jake Smith was declared missing in 2003 during the Discovery Island incident. A year later, on July 23rd, 2004, he was found and taken into custody after displaying signs of delusions and paranoia. Currently, he's a suspect in the disappearance of Greg McLaughlin, Lisa Birch, and Henry Miller. Now, Jake, can you tell me anything you recall from your time on Discovery Island? Maybe you'd like to start from the beginning and work your way from there? About your time as an intern? No? That's all right, Jake. We can do that again whenever you're comfortable. Maybe you'd like to talk about what exactly caused you to vanish like that, or where you were when you were missing. I know you said it was a blur, but maybe trying to talk about it will help you remember. Okay, that's also fine. What about the cabin? Can you tell me about the cabin, Jake? You told me that nothing happened there during our last session, but considering what you did to the place, something happened in that cabin. If you don't want to talk about it right now, that's okay too. But please, I think getting it off your chest at some point would really benefit you. The sooner they get answers, the sooner we can focus on helping you get better. Don't you want to put all this behind you, Jake? You spent a year on that island. You lost a year of your life to it. 3 friends. Do you really want it to take even more? Thank you, Jake. Now please, tell me about the cabin.
We get to night 1 and wow, this game looks great. So you get guided by a notepad on how to deal with the characters. For the first night, there's only 2 characters. Willie, insert funny penis joke. He's one of the main active characters in the game. You basically have to move him away from your office with a music player that you have in your camera. You know, I feel like I've seen this mechanic before. Belial, so you'll see a drawing appear on your notepad, which you'll have to erase with an eraser, obviously. Thank God it wasn't drawn with ink or something like that. Anyways, if the drawing fully appears, then yeah, you'll just have to deal with this for the rest of the night. You might as well reset if this happens. Coincidentally, I was about to beat this night and I died to an Easter egg, which I originally thought was scripted. But don't worry, if you die, you'll have a chance to come back to life in a death minigame. I don't exactly know much about this, so take my advice here with a grain of salt. For Goofy, you just shine your light at a hallway when you see him. For this weird floating Minnie Mouse, you just pull up the camera like Golden Freddy. For Oswald and Mickey, you have to use a voodoo doll, I think. And basically what you have to do is find 3 Mickey heads that are scattered on the cameras, sort of like the cupcakes from FNAF 3. But watch out, some of them might be fake. This section of the game is really cool and it gives the game way more depth, which you don't always see in FNAF games. The only problem was that the tutorial for it only shows up at night 1, so I had to go back and re-watch my footage to figure out what to do, which even then, it took me until custom night for me to fully figure out how to escape the minigame. Other than that though, great section. I wish I could say the same thing for the next one though. The tunnel sections. After you beat every night, you get to a tunnel section which you have to find an exit while trying to avoid Hourglass, which is a spoiler character from the first game. This section is passable, but I feel like the tutorial sort of deceives you, so I'm just gonna explain how I figured it out. The map in this section is a 7x7 square, and one of the spots has the exit. You can beat this in 2 ways. 1. You can check every single box to find the exit, which didn't work for me half the time. Or you can do it the proper way, which is way more consistent. Basically, you have to use a flashlight for when Hourglass starts making noise. So just imagine like FNAF 4. What you want to do is listen for a bell when you look in a direction. You won't always hear it, so you might have to look around. If you hear it but you're not sure which way it is, you can click your flashlight and it will replay the sound. I have no clue if this is intentional or not. This section of the game I feel like could have been better. Maybe with some sort of mini-map, or maybe a collectible map you can find, or maybe improve a bit on the bell mechanic. Anyways, with that, let's get out of this tunnel and go to night 2. On night 2, you get introduced to 2 new characters, Daisy and Corrupted Face. I don't know why Corrupted Face, that's a weird name. But anyways, for Daisy, which reminds me a lot of that one character from Dormitabus, you have to avoid looking at her in the camera or she'll show up in your office and disrupt you. Just like Mango from FNAF 3. Oh, that's a bingo. She also disables the camera you saw her on temporarily. Corrupted Face, every now and then you'll hear a sound coming from an attic because yes, you have an attic. You'll have to check your attic and shine your lighter on his face, but watch out, sometimes Pete will show up, which you'll have to go back down if you see him. On night 3, you have to deal with photo negative Minnie. Yeah, not Mickey for some reasons. She'll start making her way to your room and you have to flash her in the cameras to make her go back. That's basically it. On night 4, you have to deal with Dippy, which is basically Goofy, which tries to get in through your window by smashing it. Could have sworn I've seen this mechanic before. Okay, I'm done with the comparisons. It's getting old now. If you want any tip for these nights, I personally tried to keep Willy and Dippy in the kitchen and push Minnie back as much as I could. After that, you just have to deal with the other reactive animatronics the way you're supposed to, and you'll probably win. After beating night 4, you'll get this horrifying cutscene that I'm just gonna show.
No. 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 No! What did you do? They were children. My children. I took them under my care. I protected them. They did nothing to you people until you. They didn't know why you were doing anything to them. They didn't even understand what you wanted. They were scared. And you killed them. You people shouldn't have come here. I shouldn't have let you. I've seen what you people do before. Everything that you do here. Every time your team meddles in something they can't understand. Every time they push and prod and poke too deep, you don't even realize that the grass you step on, the air you breathe, it's all me. I've always been here. Every single time. Even if you didn't realize it. Even if you didn't recognize me. I have been here forever. And I will be here forever. But even after the countless amount of times I've seen this play out, the eternities I've spent with you, I never thought you'd go this far. I was wrong to let you pollute this place, to walk all over me as long as I did. I was wrong not to deal with you a long time ago. It will all end here. I will make sure of it.
The shadow thing is called Mother, by the way. I think she's like some sort of god or something.
Don't care.
On night 5, you have to deal with the Mother, which acts like other characters. If you see her in the cameras without eyes, you have to move her with the audio. Basically like Willy. If she has eyes, then that means you have to flash her. If you hear the attic, you have to deal with Inkbot face. The same way you dealt with the corrupted one before, but now you have to do it multiple times. Sort of like the mechanic from Five Nights at Candy's 3. What the hell?
said stop it.
Okay,
It's not
I'm
funny.
sorry. So yeah, this night is surprisingly easy. Oh no. Turns out after 3 a.m. the characters get more aggressive and Mother turns into Slenderman. No, not actually Slenderman. That's a different character we'll get to in the game.
What?
Anyways, in this section, Mother is really aggressive and sometimes it's near impossible to beat the night. And if you die, you're not able to come back to life like before. Anyways, you beat the night and... Oh, the game's over? Well, that's a bit anticlimactic. So, I'm not sure we were the character being interviewed at the start, because I have no clue how you can survive after that cutscene. Unless if it was like some sort of flashback. Don't worry though, the game will give you access to extras, custom night, and challenges with creepypasta characters. What? I don't want to go in depth and explain each of them because they're actually really simple, but by beating them, you get a new character for the custom night. There's also a night 6 you can beat that only gives you a character for the custom night mode again. There's no story or cutscene or anything. And for beating nightmare mode, which are the main characters set to 20, you unlock the last character, which unlocks true nightmare mode. And I'm gonna be honest here, I couldn't beat this night. It's really difficult, and if you think you're up for a really hard challenge, then try it out, because I think it will give you a secret cutscene, since there's one cutscene missing in the extras menu. Also, if you try pressing the button combination CD+, which normally skips nights in FNAF games,
I won!
you'll get a extra surprise. I think this game is really well made with a few minor issues here and there, but honestly, I had a lot of fun playing this game, and it had genuinely creepy moments which are really rare for me in FNAF games. Good job, Team Radiance. I also had like a few minor bugs like randomly being teleported to the death minigame without dying, and some other weird quirky things that happened. That doesn't mean Oblitus Casa is a bad game. I think it's a great sequel, but obviously compared to the first game, which had a secret mode where you could play the original Treasure Island with its own full game, so basically 2 games in one, and all the other content which I'm not gonna mention with all the Easter eggs, while being really polished in my at least experience. But that doesn't mean Oblitus Casa is bad in any sort of way. I just personally preferred the first one over the second, and that's about it. But wait, there's one more thing. If you click on the star, you will unlock a secret Five Nights at Treasure Island 3 game? Well, what are we waiting for? Let's click on play. Thank you everyone for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, dislike, whatever you prefer, and comment down your thoughts about this game and give me suggestions on other videos you want me to maybe make. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!